Welcome to this special video by the team here at Atlantic Capital Markets, where we're going to take a close look at the two industry heavyweights in a fascinating and growing area, particularly in our eco-focused world, the hydrogen sector. Now, for these two companies, we'll give you a complete rundown of their background, their key technologies, and the various applications their technology are currently finding homes in. Now, hydrogen and energy have a long-standing relationship spanning nearly 200 years, which dates back from powering the first internal combustion engines to becoming an integral part of the modern refining industry. It's light, it's storable, energy dense, and produces no direct emissions of pollutants or greenhouse gases. But for hydrogen to make a significant contribution to clean energy transitions, it needs to be embraced by consumption-heavy sectors such as transport, buildings, and power generations. Building the supply to industrial users is now becoming a major business sector globally, with demand for hydrogen continuing to rise. Hydrogen can be extracted from several sources, anything from fossil fuels and biomass to water or from a mix of both. Natural gas is currently the primary source of hydrogen production, accounting for around 3/4 of the annual global dedicated hydrogen production. Gas is followed by coal due to its dominant role in China, and a small fraction is produced from the use of oil and electricity. Hydrogen use today is dominated by industrial applications, and most notably oil refining, ammonia, methanol, and steel production. Virtually all this hydrogen has been supplied using fossil fuels, so there is significant potential for emissions reductions from clean hydrogen. In transport, the competitiveness of hydrogen fuel cell cars is reliant on fuel cell costs and refueling stations. Drive these costs down, and hydrogen-powered cars become a serious challenger to traditional electric vehicles. Shipping and aviation have very few options for low-carbon fuel options, and so also offer strong growth opportunity for hydrogen-based fuels. In buildings, hydrogen has the potential to be blended into existing natural gas networks, with the highest potential in multi-occupancy and commercial buildings, particularly in dense cities. In power generation, hydrogen is fast becoming one of the leading options for storing renewable energy, and hydrogen and ammonia can be used in gas turbines to increase power system flexibility. Ammonia could also be used in coal-fired power plants to reduce emissions. So hydrogen is already widely used in some industries, but it has not yet realised its potential to support clean energy transitions. So let's take a look now at the two key players in this sector. We start with Ceres Power. Ceres Power Holdings plc is a fuel cell technology and engineering company, engaging in the development and commercialisation of fuel cell technology in North America, Asia and Europe. The company offers SteelCell, a solid oxide fuel cell SOFC that generates power from conventional and sustainable fuels, such as natural gas, biogas, ethanol and hydrogen. Its products are applied in commercial, data centres, transport and residential markets. The business works with world-leading partners to bring their technology and mass-market energy products to these key sectors. Originally born out of Imperial College in London, the SteelCell was the invention of lithium battery and fuel cell pioneer Professor Brian Steele. The team at Ceres has been perfecting this unique technology for nearly 20 years. In recent years, Ceres has established partnerships with significant global engineering and technology players, such as Bosch in Germany, Weikai in China, and Doosan in South Korea, meeting the urgency for low-carbon power systems in industry, data centres, transportation, and everyday living. Ceres Power's main product is called SteelCell. The SteelCell technology is made from widely available materials. It's a cost-effective application and is robust and scalable. It's an ideal technology to tackle air pollution and climate change, as it significantly lowers carbon emissions and pollutants. It lowers running costs and can enable renewables. The SteelCell technology has the potential to be a very cost-effective and robust fuel cell. As a solid oxide fuel cell, SOFC, the SteelCell can use conventional fuels like mains natural gas from the existing infrastructure and can make an immediate improvement to energy costs and CO2 emissions. So let's take a look at where SteelCell technology is finding its main applications. SteelCell is ideally suited to commercial combined heat and power (CHP) applications. In collaboration with Ceres, Mura launched a new product in October 2019 with 50% electrical efficiency, and by capturing exhaust heat, an overall efficiency of 90% is reached. Commercial CHP systems with SteelCell technology offer great resilience as they continue to operate to supply electricity and hot water even during power outages. SteelCell technology also has applications in the transportation industry and especially in heavy payload and long-range transportation applications. In partnership with ITM Power, Ceres has developed a unique electric vehicle (EV) range extender system, operating at high efficiency and with very low emissions. By taking advantage of current liquid and gas refueling infrastructure, it can significantly increase fleet operating effectiveness compared with pure EVs. SteelCell technology can meet the demanding data center application requirements of reliability, efficiency, cost and load following. It has been demonstrated with electrical efficiency exceeding 60% in a US Department of Energy program. Data centers today consume around 2% of global electricity, and this consumption is also predicted by the International Energy Agency to rise to 8% by 2030. Finally, distributed generation. Now, SteelCell technology provides low carbon electricity at higher efficiency than power from the centralized grid. Being modular, the technology can be installed in a variety of formats, anything from residential use to car charging or grid reinforcement. SteelCell systems are fuel flexible, running on natural gas today through to pure hydrogen in the future, and any blend in between, making it an ideal transition technology to support trials of greater concentrations of hydrogen in gas grid networks. The second company in our analysis is ITM Power. ITM Power plc designs, manufactures and sells hydrogen energy systems for energy storage, transportation and industrial sectors in the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Italy, the Netherlands and the United States. ITM Power was founded in 2001 and is headquartered in Sheffield. For the past 20 years, ITM Power has been designing and manufacturing electrolyzer systems that generate green hydrogen based on proton exchange membrane (PEM) technology. Their electrolyzers require just renewable energy and water, with oxygen and water vapor being the only byproducts. It offers H-gas for power-to-gas, clean fuel and industrial hydrogen applications. The company is also involved in the research and development of scientific and engineering projects, development and manufacture of prototype products, as well as the sale of electrolysis equipment and hydrogen storage solutions. In addition, it operates 15 hydrogen refueling stations. In 2021, ITM opened a new gigafactory in Bessemer Park, Sheffield, the world's largest electrolyzer production factory. This shows the business is stepping up their desire as a business and has enabled ITM to cut the cost of electrolyzers by almost 40% in the coming years. ITM also worked with several heavyweight partners, including Linde, Shell, Snam, Hyundai and Honda. So let's take a look at ITM Power's main product line. The first product is electrolyzers. Now, ITM electrolyzers are powered by renewable energy and use their own PEM technology, which currently creates the purest green hydrogen on the market. The proton exchange membrane (PEM) electrolyzers use only renewable electricity and water to create green hydrogen through a process called electrolysis. The green hydrogen produced can be stored as a gas or a liquid and can be released into the gas grid. It can be used as clean vehicle fuel or in a host of industrial processes, significantly reducing emissions in logistics and heavy industry. As they can be switched on within seconds, PEM electrolyzers have an edge in being able to rapidly react to fluctuations that are typical of renewable power generation. In comparison, the startup time for alkaline water electrolysis is around an hour. So the next product is HGA S1SP, which is the smallest containerized PEM electrolyzer system. Now, the HGA S1SP plug-and-play product includes a single ITM Power high-efficient PEM electrolyzer stack, alongside all the necessary subsystems required to produce high-purity, self-pressurized green hydrogen gas. Slightly larger is the HGA S3SP, the medium-sized containerized PEM electrolyzer system. Now, the HGA S3SP plug-and-play product includes 3 ITM Power high-efficient PEM electrolyzer stacks, alongside all the necessary subsystems. Next up is the 3MEP Cube, and this is the firm's modular approach and provides flexibility to match to wide-ranging project requirements. That's ranging between around 10 to 50 megawatts. As this module shares design concepts with the other ITM Power concepts, there is a reduced technical risk, making it a reliable and versatile option. And finally, we have the 2GEP skid, and this is made up of 2 stacked modules with 5 megawatt capacity, giving flexibility to match to wide-ranging project requirements. And again, those are projects between 80 to 250 megawatts. And as this module also shares, as before, design concepts with other ITM Power concepts, there is reduced technical risk, making this too a reliable and, of course, a versatile option. So let's now take a look at where this technology from ITM Power is finding its biggest markets. The first area is transport. Firstly, green hydrogen for cars. Enhancing the driving experience with green hydrogen for cars, ITM manufacture and supply on-site hydrogen generation systems using the PEM electrolyzer technology to produce green hydrogen for refueling fuel cell electric vehicles, FCEVs. Green hydrogen for trains. A zero-emissions alternative to expensive electric infrastructure. The green hydrogen generation systems can be retrofitted to diesel trains, allowing locations across the UK to reach net zero where alternative renewable sources aren't economically available. The next area is in the field of energy. The gas network has the capacity to store energy at scale, and power-to-gas (P2G) has the potential to store megawatts to gigawatts for extended timeframes, anything from hours to months. ITM Power has played a leading role in the power-to-gas sector, supplying the first and second PEM P2G systems into Germany to the Twega Group and RWE Energy. ITM Power was also the first company to inject hydrogen into the German distribution network. They've also supplied High Deploy with the first P2G plant in the UK, which has already acquired the necessary exemptions to inject up to 20% green hydrogen into a local gas grid network. ITM systems can also utilise the renewable resources found on remote islands to create sustainable energy sources for island communities. The integration of renewables into an island's power grid can soon create certain balancing and curtailment problems. These can be overcome by deploying controllable rapid response electrolyzers to produce green hydrogen for the island's transport, heat and power sectors. Projects such as Big Hit are demonstrating how this may be achieved. Finally, green hydrogen can be easily transported in hydrogen tube trailers. Green hydrogen can be generated in regions of high renewable resource, including remote areas with little or no hydrogen demand, and transported by tube trailer to demand centres. This approach allows a supply of green hydrogen to be available wherever it's required. Shipping hydrogen stored in pressure vessels by road is a long-established practice for conveying hydrogen to small industrial users and refueling stations. And then, of course, the largest potential market is industry in general. In the refineries industry, green energy produced by the PEM electrolyzers can improve the desulfurization of crude oil without the output of CO2 into the atmosphere. Refineries use vast quantities of hydrogen in the desulfurization of crude oil to make petrol and diesel. Hydrogen production is central to the operation of a refinery, and recently demand has been increasing. Currently, it's made at the refinery via steam methane reformation (SMR) using natural gas for the feedstock, but this results in a high CO2 output per tonne of hydrogen. With refineries under increasing pressure to meet environmental legislation and reduce the emissions of their processes, it's becoming more desirable to produce hydrogen in a cleaner way. The production of green hydrogen by locating large-scale electrolyzers at refineries serves to, of course, decarbonize the use of hydrogen. There is a gap for significant sustainability gains in the steel industry by switching to green hydrogen to reduce iron ore to iron. Hydrogen can also be used to replace coke at large scale in furnaces during steel production. Conventional steel mills are highly energy intensive and in general are incredibly dependent on fossil fuels, which makes them one of the largest contributors to industrial CO2 emissions, approximately 7 to 9% of global emissions. Furnaces have conventionally used coke or hydrogen derived from natural gas to reduce iron ore to iron. Alternatively, green hydrogen produced by a large-scale PEM electrolyzer can be used as the reducing agent in order to decrease the CO2 emissions of steel production. In addition, the oxygen byproduct from the electrolyzer can be used to increase furnace efficiency and so further reduce CO2 emissions. Green hydrogen also finds an application in the process of methanation. Through the methanation process, green hydrogen generated by PEM electrolyzers can improve the development of synthetic natural gas for usage in both industry and the home. Methane, or synthetic natural gas, can be produced via the methanation of electrolytic hydrogen with carbon dioxide. Synthetic natural gas, SNG, is compatible with the natural gas grid and all existing gas-burning devices used in industry and the home. SNG is produced via the methanation of green hydrogen and green CO2, sourced from the anaerobic digestion of biomass or by direct air capture. There are two methods of methanation, biological and chemical, which can be deployed at various scales to feed gas networks with SNG and so displace the use of natural gas. Finally, green hydrogen can also be used in the production of glass. Hydrogen is employed to create an oxygen-free environment as a blanket to avoid oxidization of the glass, preventing imperfections. Hydrogen can also help decarbonize glass production. Hydrogen is used in float glass processes to provide an atmosphere of 5 to 10% hydrogen in nitrogen. Float glass is widely used to create high-quality glass for automotive and buildings applications. Due to the way it's made, float glass is very flat, has a uniform thickness, and contains no bubbles or distortions. So let's take a look at the share prices of both companies. On initial inspection, these shares of both firms seem highly correlated, as we can see from the chart. And largely, both firms are very similar. Both have cutting-edge technology, both are driving the push for hydrogen fuel cells in similar sectors. And as they're both listed on the AIM market, they both offer investors and traders some high-risk, high-reward opportunity. Despite the obvious technical similarities that we've highlighted in this report, fundamentally, there are differences. Recent partnership news from Ceres with ITM Power and Bosch is being cited as the sector's most significant news for 2022 and has seen several analysts reporting strong target prices. It's also been highlighted that the plant would be 6 times larger than ITM Power's factory at Bessemer Park. On the other side of the coin, recently, analyst commentary for ITM has been somewhat dulled down with downgraded target prices and commentary that ITM needed to show it can deliver current consensus revenue expectations without also seeing any major step up in balance sheet provisions. Ceres also recently reported a 44% increase in revenues for 2021 and are expecting further growth in the year ahead as major commercial partners continue to place orders for its hydrogen-based solid oxide fuel cell SOFC technology. ITM sales have been lagging analyst expectations and other sector peers, and the business has been under pressure recently for its lack of growth. So, due to the high-risk, high-reward nature of both stocks and the fact that both generally move with a high degree of correlation despite the differences, I would approach the pair with a split pot attitude. What I mean by this is that it is a rapidly expanding and changing market, and news flows can fuel moves. At this point, with so little to split the difference on the share price movement, I would tend to split your normal position sizes in half and hold half of each. I'd also leave a little bit of space for the other upstart disruptor in the sector, AFC Energy, but that's a stock for another report. So we hope this detailed report gives you a lot of food for thought. It is a very technical sector, but it is also a very exciting sector with interesting opportunities. So don't forget, if you're an investor, we are here at Atlantic Capital Markets to help and guide you on your investment journey. So do please feel free to get in touch with us for a no obligation chat. We're here to help. So until next time, thanks for watching, and don't forget you can catch up with all the latest economic and investment news for the week ahead every Monday morning on our YouTube channel. Until next time.